everyone, my name is Katora and welcome back to Soul Food. So today we're gonna be making a loaded arepa de choclo, okay? An arepa, if you don't know, it is, an arepa de choclo is a sweet corn pancake. We're gonna put a little bit of cheese, a little bit of butter in, griddle it on a pan, get it nice and crispy. It's typically served arepa de choclo just with some cheese and two sides of the corn pancake. Today I'm going to make it loaded style. What does that mean? We're going to use some black beans. You'll actually find a recipe for that on my channel and I will link it in the iCards and down below. We're going to use some black beans, some sweet plantains, some fried egg, some sauce, put a little cheese on it, put a little some on it, all right? This is the ideal brunch recipe. I'm telling you, if you want to sauce it up, show your friends, your little buteng or whatever, your little worldly side, this is the recipe for that. So stick with me and I'll share with you how I make it. This recipe, you're going to start off with some Harina Pan. It is a yellow cornmeal and you should be able to find it in the flour section of your grocery store. And of course, the full recipe for this video will be in the description box below. So I have a cup of that yellow cornmeal and I'm adding in a quarter cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. To that, you're going to want to add 2 tablespoons of melted butter and you're going to stir to combine the yellow cornmeal with the fat in the butter. To that, add 1.5 cups of warm milk. Now, you're going to see here that it looks really soupy and it seems impossible that we would be able to get 1.5 cups without it being super runny. But as you can see, once the cornmeal hydrates with the liquid from the milk, it thickens up really quickly. So this is the consistency that you're going to be looking for, like a little bit thicker than a pancake batter. And the rest is easy peasy. You're going to pretty much follow the same steps as you would make a pancake. For this arepa, you're going to melt a little knob of butter over a pan set to medium heat. And I put in a heaping 1/4 cup of the batter right into the center of my pan. And I'm using my spatula to run around the sides just to help it become more of a perfect circle, you know, because I like it like that. So as you can see, I'm kind of pointing to the edges and you're going to know it's ready to flip when those edges are getting a little bit darker than the center. They're a little bit darker of a yellow. So I'm looking to see that it's golden brown and it is. So after about 3 minutes on that side, I went ahead and flipped it. And there it is, beautifully golden brown. Yes, so you're going to do the rest of your batter in that same way. So moving on to our little side coleslaw salad, I've got about 1.5 cups of shredded cabbage. I used a knife to just shred it. I've got 1/4 teaspoon of sugar that I'm adding in, granulated sugar, a pinch of salt. You can add salt to taste. I'm going in now with the juice of 1/4 of a lime. I'm going to squeeze that in. It's going to give a nice tang and crunch to this arepa that we're eating. It's going to be delicious, I promise. So next, add in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And then finally, we're just going to mix this all together and set it in the fridge until we're ready to serve. And the next thing we're going to do is make this delicious sauces that are going to be drizzled on top of our loaded arepa. So here I have got a cup of mayonnaise that I'm adding 1/3 cup of ketchup and 2 tablespoons of Sriracha and 1/2 tablespoon of white distilled vinegar. I'm going to mix that all up and easy peasy. This sauce can not only accompany your loaded arepa de choclo, but anything that you're making, hot dogs, burgers, anything that you want a sauce on, drizzle this on top. It's delicious. I put it into my squeeze bottle actually so I could keep it in my fridge and have it with other stuff. And for the next sauce, we're going to be making a cilantro garlic sauce. So in my blender going in, I've got 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, as well as 1/2 cup of full fat sour cream. Next, I'm adding in 1 clove of garlic that I roughly chopped to help the blender out. And I've got a cup of cilantro that I'm going to put into the blender. If you like a little bit less of a flavor of cilantro, you can pull back a little bit, but I love cilantro. I love the color. I love the flavor. So I added in a whole half a cup. Here I've got the juice of half of a lime and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, as well as a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. All that's left to do is blend this up until it is very, very smooth. And as you can see, when you open your blender cap, it'll be a really beautiful green. You're gonna do the same with the pink sauce. Put this into a squeeze bottle until you're ready to use it. And now for the best part, assembly time. So go ahead and lay one of your arepas onto a plate. And I'm going in with some black beans that I had left over that I made in a previous video. A link for that will definitely be in the description box down below. So I am going to spoon those black beans onto my arepa. I gave them a bit of a mash so that they would be a little bit thicker. And I'm going in with 3 ripe, sweet, juicy plantains. I actually got these in the freezer section, in the international section of the freezer aisle in my grocery store, and I followed the package instructions. I baked them in the oven for about 20 minutes and they were absolutely delicious. Of course, if you prefer, you can fry your own sweet plantains. It will be just as delicious. Next, we are going in with a fried egg. I just did a really super simple sunny side fried egg. Took just a couple minutes. I'm putting that on top, and all we have left to do is add on our side and the garnish. So I've got some cotija cheese that I'm sprinkling on top. This gives a little bit of sharpness to our dish. I'm putting in on the side our tangy, slightly sweet refreshing cabbage slaw. And then my favorite part, the sauces, the cilantro garlic sauce and our slightly spicy salsa rosada, our pink sauce. And y'all, that is it. This is my favorite brunch. It's a great way to use leftovers and things you have pretty much already have in the fridge, like with black beans and things like that. You can serve this to your friends for an easy peasy delicious brunch. I really hope you all enjoy this recipe, and of course, if you do, please be sure to give this video a like, leave a comment saying how you enjoyed it, and of course, subscribe for more. Thanks.